everyone, this is Mandy and Brittany again from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we're excited to have another one of our male matches on with us. First, we'd like to thank Republic State Mortgage. At Republic State Mortgage, they build relationships one home at a time. They lend money so you can invest in the real estate market. They are located at 123 4th Street Southwest in New Philadelphia. They specialize in FHA, USDA, VA, and conventional loans, and they are our local lending experts. They love face-to-face applications, but with the current conditions, they also give their borrowers the option to apply online. You can check them out at republicstatemortgage.com for all of your purchase and refinance needs. Their NMLS number is 62411.
We'd also like to thank Get Level Podcast Network for continuing to support our Match Madness campaign, where we have the goal of matching 10 children off of our waiting list. Today, we have Big Brother Mark and Little Brother Josh here with us today to share their experience.
Mark and Josh have been matched for 3 years now, and Mark has played a key role in Josh's life by helping him overcome trials that have stemmed from his childhood. Josh, do you want to share anything about why you initially became part of the program?
I mainly got it through school. My aunt and uncle, they put me into the program. I don't know, for just some random reason. I guess they learned about it and from the school, and they put me in it.
Did you want to have a big brother when you started?
I didn't matter if it was a big brother or big sister. So.
You wanted someone?
Just someone to have a friend.
Okay.
So we have 4 mentoring specialists on our staff, and we match children with mentors who we feel can help them reach their full potential and achieve their goals. Mark, what growth have you seen in Josh?
I think Josh came to me pretty mature myself. He doesn't give himself credit for some of the chances he takes in life. And all I've wanted to do is reinforce the fact that he has a character already, I think, very well formed, and support him in that.
Josh, why is Mark important in your life?
Well, for me, I think of Mark as, more of a father figure. Mm-hmm. More than, a big brother.
Okay.
But, for example, I live with my aunt and uncle. Mm-hmm. I think of my uncle as my uncle and my aunt as my aunt, but I think of Mark as a fatherly figure.
What are some things that Mark does that help you think of him as a father?
He just generally talks to me and makes the choice to try out things that I like, and he can learn from me, which is a very important skill in fatherhood and all that.
So you two would say that you've learned from each other. So it's not just you, Josh, that's benefiting. Mark, you feel that you've benefited from the match as well?
Definitely, indeed. I mean, it's a two-way street. And it has developed into a friendship. So I didn't know what to expect when I got involved in this program. And I was skeptical because I thought, I'm not a highly entertaining kind of guy. I think I live kind of a boring life. And I thought, if you guys could match me with someone, this would be incredible. Because I don't want to entertain somebody. I want to be with somebody.
Yeah.
And the relationship's more important than the entertainment to me. And so when I got paired with Josh, I couldn't believe. I mean, we were so much alike in many ways. I know relationships are really important to Josh. And so for us, it was awkward in the beginning. I mean, you're vulnerable when you start this program. Everybody's vulnerable. Deb and Jerry are vulnerable. I was vulnerable. Josh is vulnerable. And I guess the fact that we were willing to come together and be vulnerable is what has allowed us to build a friendship.
So Josh, you're going to be a senior this year. As you've navigated through your high school years, has it helped you to have Mark to bounce ideas off of, such as where to go to college and what career fields to pursue?
He hasn't really had any ideas. He's mainly focused on what I want to do. He hasn't really, because before meeting him, I've already had sort of an idea of what I want to do for my job. So
you feel that he has just supported those ideas and
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to talk about what you want to do?
Well, I want to be a psychologist. I want to go into the psychology field, maybe get a PhD.
That's awesome.
Why?
As-
Why?
Why? I just feel like I want to help people, and that for me, I feel like that would be honestly one of the perfect job ideas or careers I could do through my entire life.
To help others.
Mhm.
As Mark has said, Josh has always been very self-motivated, aware of his personal goals. And we've seen that Mark has been influential to him by just being a friend and someone who he can talk to. Being a good big is all about being present and being there. Josh has a supportive, engaged aunt and uncle at home, but we here at Big Brothers Big Sisters understand that all children can benefit by having as many positive role models in their lives as possible.
So how do you two continue to build upon your relationship?
Well, mainly bouncing ideas off of each other and getting into new things.
Okay. So trying some new experiences. Are there any that come to mind that you've enjoyed? Talk about?
Well, when I first got into a relationship with Mark, or friendship, that is, he mainly delved me into the realm of cooking and that entire plethora of madness. But he's taught me, I've taught him.
What did you teach him?
Technology.
I have a long way to go.
Most of us do.
But when we did with the COVID thing, we actually cooked a meal together on Zoom, and wasn't sure how that was going to fly, but it actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Even though there was a few troublesome difficulties that...
With connection to the internet?
Yeah, and my phone died because I didn't charge it. So
I prepared.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me. I had to use my aunt's phone.
What did you guys make?
Spaghetti sauce.
Spaghetti sauce from scratch, and then I do my pasta noodles in a special way. So that's what we did from scratch, and then they ate dinner. I guess I put some anchovies in my sauce, which kind of turned Uncle Jerry off.
Need those?
Apparently not. If he didn't know they were in there, he would have eaten it and liked it. Trust me.
I mean, he's tried it before. Like, I've brought it home from the Tupperware container that you gave me one time, and he ate it. He said it was fine.
Didn't know they were in there?
Nope.
Obviously, the truth won't set you free.
So you chose to cook a meal together over Zoom, and that's because during the entire COVID situation, you weren't able to meet in person. So as an agency, we had to pause those in-person outings just for the safety of everyone. Were there any other ways that you stayed connected during that time when you weren't able to see each other?
Really, would you?
Not really. I mean, we texted back and forth.
Yeah, but it was pretty limited, and it felt just kind of like everything was dying on the vine, and I didn't really care for that too much. But we didn't have a whole lot of choice.
Yeah,
it is what it is, and here we are.
Now you're able to meet in person again.
Yes, indeed.
When you meet in person, what are some things that you enjoy doing or talking about?
Well, we like to go to Magic Mugs, which is in downtown Dover. We like to go to different coffee shops, try out new things, cook. And one time I taught him how to do some things on the computer, which he still needs help with.
You're going to have to set him up with some classes on that.
Yeah, I guess.
So Josh is not only a little, but he's also big in our site-based program. Josh, why did your experience as a little motivate you to become a big for younger students at your school?
Mainly it was because that I know how I felt during the program. It was a way for me to like escape all the social pressures of school and have someone who's bigger than me, who through the social hierarchy of school is cooler than me, gave me, a way to look forward at life and just to have fun.
And you wanted to give a younger student the same thing, someone to look up to and someone to have fun with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. You're already starting to help others. What would you guys say to encourage others to become involved in our program?
Don't be intimidated. I know it may seem a little sketchy, but in my opinion, it's a choice that's worthwhile, and that your child or even those as adults, they can again learn a lot from
Person.
Yeah.
I think it's worthwhile because I think we all have something to share. And you don't know what you have to share until you try. And I think we've evolved because we've chose, I think, to be vulnerable, which I really think this program is all about, ultimately. And if you're willing to go toward vulnerability, the truth is you don't know what's going to happen. You stand a chance of having something that's kind of special in life, another relationship that has value, that has meaning. And I'm thankful for the program as a result of that, because I was very uncertain and skeptical, kind of like I'm using Josh's word in the beginning. I just had concerns. One, did I have something of value to share? Two, that vulnerability aspect was a concern of my wife's as well as mine.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, your organization put my heart and mind at ease by just the questions you asked. You asked questions that were very well thought out, very deep in their concern about relationship, and that put me at ease. So just what your program has developed and how you question potential bigs is very well developed, and I think you guys do an amazing job of at least in this circumstance pairing two human beings together, and I'm thankful.
Well, we are really glad that you stepped out of your comfort zone and became a big, because we just think that your match is wonderful and that you both provide something in each other's lives. How long do you plan on staying connected in each other's lives?
10 more minutes, Josh.
Till we're done with this podcast.
For me, I think this is a relationship that'll last pretty much my entire life.
I feel the same way. I mean, there's no reason not to. I mean, it's not like something that just ends. The time's up. I don't feel that way, and I'm looking forward to how as he gets more free. He's close to getting a driver's license,
Mm-hmm.
and then he can make choices. Distance is an issue for us. He lives in Boulevard, and you live in New Philly. I have a full schedule. He has a full schedule. When he can travel more easily on his own, that would, I think, allow us the freedom to do things together a little more easily and connect more readily based on when we have the time available and not have to worry about Deb making a trip or me making a trip and all the things the logistical aspects of trying to have a friendship.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. We really appreciate you coming on our podcast.
Thanks for the invitation.
We just talked with Mark and Josh, and now we're going to speak with Josh's Aunt Deb regarding her perspective of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. So thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for asking.
So you're Josh's adoptive aunt. Can you tell us a little bit about Josh, his personality, hobbies, and interests?
His interests are anything computer, anything. Playing games. He's interested in track. He's interested in school plays. Helps other kids. Much helps where he can, and he's an all-around great kid.
You've seen him grow and transition throughout his life. Why did you choose to enroll him as a little?
When we first got custody of Josh, he was 10, and we knew we would have our hands full. And we were at a school for a program, and I was talking to the middle school principal. And she said, Big Brothers Big Sisters is here. It's a really good program. And several of the teachers who had had my children said, one of them, Janet Cornell, said, Deb, he would really benefit from this. So I went over and I signed him up. I thought, you know what, the more people, positive influence, showing him the good things in life instead of the downside of life is helpful. Now, I'm not sure my husband was real happy, but I told him, you know what, this is going to be okay, and if I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong.
Do you think his opinion has changed since that time?
His opinion has changed. He was just afraid that Josh would get in and it would be what had happened in his prior life. But it's been an absolutely positive influence.
Josh came to live with you and your husband, and you've always been involved in his life. Why did you still feel like he needed the influence of a big?
I enrolled him in the school program first because his school life, when he was with his mom, there was no homework done. There was not really any set discipline. There was nothing holding to a set ground. And I just thought that it would be a positive influence to see kids at the high school that did this, because I knew they were selective, and I was told I checked around with people. And I just thought it would be a positive role model for him to see other kids at that school, and he has had great bigs at the school. They helped him grow. They were just very, very positive. Where Josh was at, that's where most of the kids were at in the program.
How do you feel like the community-based program?
I decided that if the school-based program was that good and made such an impact on him, that the community-based couldn't be bad. It would be great. And I told my husband, and I talked, and I just told him, I said, I really think we need to give this program a chance, because I cannot believe it would not be a positive role model for him. And we got Mark, and Mark is wonderful. I love Mark. Mark is wonderful. Mark is family. We are a family, and he is the best. He was the best pick for Josh.
Josh is a wonderful kid, and as staff, we've enjoyed getting to know him and your family and being a part of his match relationship with Mark. How would you say the program has affected him, or how has Mark specifically been a benefit to his life?
Mark's been a benefit because, not like his uncle and I were raising him, we're doing, but Mark is the person who's there who can be more, can say things to him, and more of a sounding board than us saying, no, Josh, you got to do this, or Josh, you got to do that. And Mark says, now, Josh, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that? And it's just a great bouncing relationship with them.
What are Josh's expectations for his future? What are some of his goals and aspirations?
He wants to graduate college. His uncle and I are thrilled. He's a good job, and he wants to help people in the future. And when we first got him, I'm not sure he was real happy with me. Husky Valley, you have to have, I think, 20 hours community service. Josh has 130 hours.
That's awesome.
I took him down to the library the summer of his freshman year and said, here you go, you're volunteering. And then we got with Mark, and he's volunteered the farmer's market. We still do the library, and I just said, a lot of people have helped you, and you're going to do this too. I learned this from my grandmother. My grandmother said, Deborah, you pay it forward. So we told Josh, you're paying it forward, and I can't be more pleased with how he's turning out. He's wonderful.
And now he has the goal of helping people in his future career. So obviously all of that volunteer
big impact.
service made a difference.
It did. It really made a difference. I just wanted him to see that there were all kinds of people. A good example is there was a kid who came to his school and was like Josh before he moved to our place. And Josh came home and said, hey, Deb, can I take this stuff to him and can I do this? And then the next day he went over and he goes, hey, here's this, and you can do this and you can do that. The other kids at school said, what are you doing? And he said, I was like that at one time before I moved to my aunt and uncle's, and he just needs a little help.
Been through and experienced how to get what he needs, and so he's going to use that, his own history and experience, to help others.
Yes, he does.
A great guy.
Do you feel Mark supports Josh's potential to succeed?
I think Mark supports it, and Mark does anything he can in helping to do that.
Is it your hope that they continue their relationship after Josh graduates high school?
I would love to see them continue because they're positive for each other, and they get along so great. They're a lot alike.
You think it will benefit Josh as he becomes an adult to continue?
I do. I think it's going to benefit Josh a lot.
How do you feel the program can benefit other children, and what would you say to a parent who maybe consider enrolling their children in the program?
I would tell them they need to give it a shot and give it a chance because it's such a positive and uplifting program, and it's helpful. It helps the kids grow. It shows them the positive side of life. They do fun things with them. And once you get your foot in the door, then it just the world opens up.
What would you say to encourage volunteers who might want to become bigs in the program?
It is a worthwhile experience. And I'll say this now, that when I retire, I plan on doing it.
Would love to have you as a big sister.
I would just like to do that. I had so many people helping me as a child, and I just truly believe in it, and I only got a few more years.
That makes us excited.
What about early retirement?
Well, we talked about that, but it'll be about 3 years.
Is there anything else you want to share about your family's experience or Josh's experience being in the program?
We've just had an absolutely positive experience. It has been such a blessing to be a part of this, and I would go the extra mile to do stuff for it.
Well, we thank you very much for coming and talking with us.
Well, thank you very much for your role model in Josh's life. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for always being an advocate of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. Your support of the program is important to us. So again, we appreciate you being here and just always supporting Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank Republic State Mortgage again and the Get Level Podcast Network. We need more individuals who are willing to become bigs and mentor the children in our community. If you're interested in becoming a mentor or interested in becoming involved with the agency in a different way, you can call us at 330-339-6916. You can also get more information from our website, bigs4kids.com, on our Facebook page, Big Brothers Big Sisters of East Central Ohio.